Hey there, art friends. Today we're going to be drawing skyscrapers, and we're going to be doing some on colorful paper and then some on white paper and cutting those out and gluing them on. I wanted to show you a couple pictures of some art that Marz Jr. did. This is who we are going to be looking at in order to do our skyscrapers. So here are two of his images of some skyscrapers, and you can see that they're very simple. They're just like black and white, put onto some colorful paper. You can see like the sides of the building, so it kind of has some depth. It looks a little bit 3D. Let's look at a couple more. Here's another one of the Capitol Records building. This one is a round building. You can kind of tell that it looks a little bit 3D because he actually, made it a little bit, the lines aren't straight, they're more rounded. So Marz Jr. is actually from New York. He is a pop artist who uses like pop culture and iconic images for his pictures. So he does a lot of buildings, hotels, bridges. He also is an illustrator for newspapers and magazines. Here's a really cool bridge picture that he drew. You can see like the underneath and the side of this bridge. So another reason why it looks so cool is because it shows some depth. It kind of tricks our eye to make it look a little bit 3D. Here's the Hollywood Bowl. This is in California. It's like a really cool place to go listen to concerts. And here is a hotel. So I just really love to look at all the details of like the windows and the roof, how everything's kind of like different sizes and different shapes. Okay, let's get to our art. All right, you guys, now that we've looked at some pictures of Marz Jr. and his artwork, let's talk about what we need for this project. We need a piece of colorful construction paper, a piece of white construction paper, a glue stick, a ruler, and a Sharpie pen, or like a thin Sharpie, okay? I mean, you could do pencil, but you're gonna have to go over it in Sharpie, and I think that you guys are able to do this without having to trace over it. So, first things first, grab that colorful piece of paper and your ruler, and we are going to draw a couple of skyscrapers over here to this side of the building. I'm sorry, to this side of our paper, and then we're gonna add one over here in white, kind of to mimic Marz Jr. and his art style. Okay, with your ruler, I want you to draw the top of a building. So it needs to be pretty high. I wouldn't go too low. It doesn't have to be all the way to the top. And I'm just gonna make it, I don't know, a couple inches, maybe 2 inches. And then I'm gonna go straight down, trying to get it straight so it looks like a straight building here. Go straight down. Okay, this is going to be the front of our building. Now we want this to look a little bit 3D, so we're going to show the side of our building. So instead of going straight out, we want to make it at a tilt, at an angle, so that it looks like the building is kind of turned, and that's kind of what happens to a line when it turns, is it kind of angles down a little bit. So you're going to take your ruler and go to the point right here, and you're going to draw just a small angle down, and it just needs to be, I don't know, 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch. And then you're going to go straight down from there, and it's going to be parallel to this line, this side of the building. Okay, so we already have this already looking pretty 3D building here, and this is the side of it. And then let's do another one coming out of this building that's like right next to it. I'm going to do it a little bit lower, and I'm going to come out just a little bit, and we're going to do the same things where we come out and then we go straight down, trying to make sure it's straight vertically, and then we're going to make that tilt, that angled line, and then come straight down. Now I'm going to leave all this room over here so I can draw a skyscraper on a white piece of paper and glue it to this to kind of mimic Marz Jr. Okay, so now the next thing is we're going to add some windows, and I'm going to show you kind of a trick to kind of make this look even more 3D. So to make this look even more 3D, we're going to mimic this angled line, and we're just going to draw a bunch of angled lines right here. And this kind of just makes it look more 3D here. to show like the sides of the building. You could use a ruler if you want. I'm just trying really hard to make my angle the same as it is above and below it. So I don't want to, you know, make it look too high or too low. But you guys, it doesn't have to be perfect. That's the cool thing about Marz Jr. too, is that a lot of his art is also, like, it's not perfect. It's just drawn the way that he wants to see it. So I love it. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing to this building here. And I could even, you know, I'm going to make it match that angle. So this angle, I should have made that one a little higher. This angle is different from this angle. So make sure it matches that angle. Like I said, it does not have to be perfect, but you do want to try to match that angle. Okay, so now that we have these two sides of our buildings, we're going to draw some windows here. Now, I like to use a ruler. You don't have to use a ruler. It's kind of up to you. I just, you know, I'm kind of a person that likes to have straight lines. But if I'm only going to do that if I'm going to do like a big long building, or a big long window. So I might have a long window here. See what happens when I don't use a ruler? My windows get wonky, but that's okay. It doesn't matter. Then I can do maybe some smaller windows here. I could do the same ones here. And you're just going to go ahead and fill this up with windows and also fill this with windows. And I might color some in to make like some of them look dark. These might be skyscrapers that people live in. These could be office buildings. Maybe some people are there working. So we kind of want to make it look a little bit different by maybe adding darkening in some of the windows to make it look like somebody is not there and they have the lights off. Okay, now that I have my buildings drawn, I am going to take a Sharpie and I'm going to add some details. I grabbed a bigger Sharpie just because it's a lot easier to fill in these shapes with a bigger Sharpie. And I mean, I could add like these little window lines if I wanted. I could do it to these long ones if I wanted to. I might just fill in some of these squares to make it look like these people are not there. So add as much or as little detail as you want. I kind of love this part of it, just kind of making all these decisions about what I want this to look like. I also wanted to show you that I added at the bottom, I added a door. I'll do the same thing here because there's got to be a door for these people to get into. Color this one in. You could also add like things on top of the roofs if you want. I mean, I know like in New York and in big cities, a lot of times, you know, they have like little, they could have like chimneys up here. I could add some smoke coming out. Let's see, what else could I add? I know that a lot of these buildings in the big city, they have gardens on top. So maybe you could want to draw like a garden or draw, you know, some bushes up here. I could draw a little tree to show like a roof garden up here with some grass. Just kind of have fun. Add whatever you want to your buildings. Okay, once you have your awesome skyscrapers, you have the side of your building, you are going to get a white piece of paper. So this white piece of paper is going to be what we're going to draw our next skyscraper on and place it right here. Okay, so think about what you want this skyscraper to look like. I want mine to look like a different shape than my other ones. I don't want it to be just a big rectangle. So I think I'm going to make this guy, I think it's going to start off as a rectangle and then it's going to have a really cool like pointy top. So I'm going to draw the sides of it. I think this will fit in my little section there. And I think I'm going to have this topper be kind of rounded. So I'm going to make that connection right there. And then I think I'll angle it in. And I think I'm going to keep doing the same kind of thing until it kind of gets a little pointy. And like I said, you can totally make this however you want. There is no right. I think I'm going to make a point now. There's no right. There's no wrong. I just wanted mine to look different than my previous one. Yeah, I love this. Might add some lines down here. Kind of a fancy topper. And then I'm probably just going to add some big windows here because this is probably an office building. But I guess it could be an apartment building too. Now for this one's going to be kind of in the front. So we're not going to draw the side of it. So this one's just going to be a front shot of this one. So after I get all of my details, I'm going to cut it out. So finish your details and then cut it out. All right, now that you have cut out your white skyscraper, go ahead and grab that colorful piece of paper that we had where we drew our first 2 skyscrapers. And we're just going to glue it right on. So go ahead and do that. You can put it close to those if you want. You can kind of spread it out. You can put it all the way to the edge. Totally up to you. Love it. This looks exactly like a Marz Jr. illustration. This is a great time if you want to add any other details to your illustration or your drawing. Now is the time to do it. Okay, friends, thanks so much for doing this project with me, for learning about Marz Jr. It's always fun to learn about artists and different artists that aren't like, you know, like the everyday, like Van Gogh or Monet, but who are making art right now. So thanks for doing some art with me. I will talk to you guys later.